Good morning, comrades. You are listening to WHIVLP New Orleans 102.3. This is your weekly Good Morning Comrade. Jeff and Robert here on the show, talking to you on the radio. Robert.
Hello,
what's
sir.
going on?
Still doing show prep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect time to do show prep is during the show.
During the show.
That's the best way to do it, you know?
Absolutely, brother.
Like, we'll do it live. Remember the old video of Bill O'Reilly? We'll do it live
on Inside Edition. Like,
oh yeah, oh man.
Two things about Inside Edition. Like, all y'all watching this. And we're also live on Twitch. But all y'all watching this live right now or listening to this are most likely Zoomers or like late millennials.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some Gen Alpha in there, and y'all don't remember Inside Edition. It was this weird little like news like. It was like came on after the real news, and it had like fake like human interest stories.
Oh, it came on after Jeopardy when I was
that and like a current affair. They were pretty much like magazines that were in audiovisual form, right?
Like it was TMZ before TMZ,
right? Good. And so like they had that, and we used to there's two stories that always stuck with me. And to this day, as a kid, like that, I won't say scared me, but it definitely interested me. And like, if we had internet back in the day, would have sent me down some wicked rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
How the not the actual magic voodoo practice, but I won't say medical, but like the scientific way to create a zombie absolutely exists. What you do, and it's like they went to Haiti and they were talking to like whatever Haitian voodoo guy, and this is real. You can Google this. So to create a zombie, what you have to do is get some blowfish, some pufferfish, and feed somebody, dose them enough pufferfish poison where it absolutely just destroys like their free will, their brain. It almost like chemically makes like lobotomizes them.
This is ripped straight from the Umbrella Corporation's how-to books, by the way.
The miamycin, whatever, the mold people. But yeah, so it literally like will take away someone's free will. They're like permanently drugged. It's like if you ever met a guy, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Do kids still do acid anymore? I think I think LSD's having a comeback, but like I can never see myself taking a CIA mind control drug. But it's like that. Like they are just pretty much chemically lobotomized and are just suggestive to whatever. So you created a zombie. Story number one. Story number two was, this is topical because of the Gaza ceasefire today, Jerusalem syndrome. Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Hit me with it.
So what Jerusalem, this is also real medical phenomenon, psychological phenomenon. Devout Christians, it's always devout Christians who are just like super, super devout, go to the quote unquote Holy Land, right? Mm-hmm. And then when they get to Jerusalem, they absolutely have a psychotic break, and they think that they pretty much they pick a character from the Bible and they become that person for the rest of their lives.
Oh.
And then like they're usually supported by like financially and just like, you know, as kind of like an unofficial.
They don't need to work for a living.
Yeah, because they're their brains are gone. They've had a psychotic break. Or you've got Arabs and Jews, and also Christians, Arabs, Jews, and Christians thinking that, hey, this person could actually like be some kind of a something from the, you know, from the book. So maybe we should treat them kindly. And
conversely, like, oh, this poor soul's brain is broken. Maybe we need to just like treat them with respect.
Yeah, that was my first thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they think that, and they got these people walking around thinking they're Mary Magdalene or whatever. It's absolutely crazy. And that, more than the zombie thing didn't scare me, that scared me as a kid. Because I was like, man, like how, like, one, is this real? Are they really just like possessed by characters from the Bible? Two, have they just had a psychotic break? And it's like, man, what if that happened to me? That's crazy.
Yeah, the scarier than death is like not being able to control yourself. That's the scariest thing to me. You know what I mean?
For sure. But Inside Edition used to bring the heat with Bill O'Reilly on there for sure.
Mary Hart was wasn't like John Tesh or something like that.
I think John Tesh was Inside Edition, not Inside Edition, but a Current Affair. I think he was Current Affair. I don't know, but that
I'm looking it up.
I watch all those shows. There's just like, how many of those weird like news things were there?
Oh, he did write the NBA on NBC song, the Round Ball Rock song too. Entertainment Tonight. He was Entertainment Tonight.
Yeah, I knew that. Oh. Yeah, there was that. I forgot all about E.T.
Yeah.
That's what the cool kids called it.
Yeah.
E.T. back in the day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, man. It is a wild week. Dude, where's my government? Am I right?
Brother, the government is shut down. How it's affecting me is that I can't go use the bathroom in the National Park Ranger Station in the French Quarter anymore. It was the cleanest, most beautiful. It was one of, honestly, I know I'm being kind of flippant. Like, that Ranger Station's amazing because it's on Decatur Street, next to the IDF field office where they try to hustle soap and Dead Sea salts on you.
IDF field office?
The IDF field office. Oh, you've never? Oh,
you haven't been? What?
You have?
No, I've never been to the IDF field office
a minute,
in New Orleans.
You've been in a mall, right? You've been in a place that has commerce, right?
Sure.
Have you been out with a lady at any point and somebody's tried to push like soap or lotion in your face from a mall kiosk or from a weird little storefront, and they're like trying to give you free samples, and they're like, "Oh, I like your dress. Oh, have you listened to Psytrance?" Those are all Israelis. It's all like Israeli Mossad front. I'm not even joking.
What's going on there? What's the deal?
I'm not kidding you. Hold on. Let's do a quick googly boogly just for funsies here.
More show prep in the middle of the show.
Yeah, let's see. We didn't know we were going to talk about the IDF field offices.
No, but like
Israeli.
So basically, you got Mossad just like shoving soap in your face. That's what's going on here.
Yeah. Oh, it went right to Reddit too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my favorite.
Okay, so here we go. r/Israel. Does anyone remember when every mall in the USA had Israelis working illegally in kiosks selling useless crap, Dead Sea creams? Is that still going on? If not, why? If not, why didn't it stop? I actually dated a girl. This was when little Robert was just out of the Marine Corps, and she worked at one of those weird things, and she was Israeli, and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, I was in the IDF." And she didn't want to talk. I was like, "Ooh, tell me about it." I was in the Marine Corps. And she never.
And that woman was Gila Klein.
She looked. Man, I'm about to be real funky. She looked way better than Gila Klein. Busted brick. Nah, for real. But no, she never wanted to talk about the IDF. And I was like, "Ooh, you were in the army." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, tell me. I was like, "I was in. It was cool. Like I was in Japan and we eat ramen all day." And she was probably out there running Palestinian children over in a D9 bulldozer. Little did I know. But it's obviously not right now, but in the 2020s because of COVID, it seemed like I stopped seeing it around the 2010s or so. Did anyone else notice this? The Israeli economy now is so powerful they don't need to do crap like this.
Malls died before like 2020 though. Like it was kind of over before. It had to be, right?
Yeah. For sure, but they're still out there. I'm telling you.
I guess. I mean,
I've got to sneeze real quick. Hold on.
Let her out. Bless you in advance. There it is. That's you. But yeah, government is shut down. I don't know, man. It really is kind of one of those sorts of things that when it comes to like all of the stuff that's happening in the world right now, the government shutdown barely even registers, which is cool.
Oh, remember when this was like front page news? Like every time the government like they couldn't reach a clean CR, and like this would be like, oh my god, and people just went, what else? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday in Hellworld. Like what else is new?
Yeah.
We literally have. Yeah, we have U.S. military like on the streets black bagging people and taking them to gulags.
Yeah. They never shut that part of the government down. That's the other part too.
Well, that's the thing.
I thought the
Oh,
government was shut down. Why are they deploying the National Guard in Illinois
no,
right now?
no. That's not how it works.
I know it's not how it works.
When those are essential jobs, right?
Yeah,
So, like, to take for an example, I know a little bit about this because being in the military, right?
of course.
So
And of course I know this, but like it's just like one of those things where it's
yeah,
like
let's just explain
like
it.
what are the priorities of our government? Obviously all the fascist stuff is the priority essential jobs, and the like stuff like the National Labor Relations Board, or getting checks out to retired people, or Medicaid, or whatever.
One of the few third spaces in New Orleans, the ranger station in downtown, and in downtown New Orleans, one of the few places you could just exist and not be hounded to buy something.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
And like all that stuff needs to go, but like you can definitely make sure that if you have somebody wearing a frog costume, you bet your ass that they're gonna get sprayed in the only hole that they can breathe in with mace.
Was just watching the Frog Kid when you called me.
He's back, baby. He's not even he didn't even flinch.
That's a whole thing. I want to finish my thought though about the government shutting down. Like, this, but maybe people in the audience don't. Is that when the United States government, when we have a government shutdown, that means non-essential people get furloughed and not paid, and they don't get their money back. Like, what did I just say? National park rangers, right? Yeah. That's why all the national parks are just like, hey, pay what you want at the gate now. Just, we've got a tip jar out. Just leave it out. There's nobody in here. Good luck.
Like
good
all the musicians in this town, and now you got the park rangers doing that same.
They're like, I hope you got enough bear mace because you ain't got no backup in here. But they get furloughed, right? They get sent home and not paid. What's even more beautiful about the fascist cops and the military is that they still have to come to work, but they don't get paid. Now, maybe if they're lucky, they'll get back pay. If they're lucky, if it all sorts out for them, which a lot of times they get screwed when this happens. But I'm watching TikToks right now of pissed, not even fascist pigs like in the street, but of actual like dudes in the military who are just like, I didn't sign up for this bullshit. And they're just like, if this check don't hit on the 15th, I'm going AWOL. Kiss my motherfucking ass. And I'm like, hell yeah. It's like, I love it, brother. And also the Republican Party can, dole out tax breaks to the richest people in this country and kick poor Americans off of Medicaid. And I like that finally the Democratic Party is holding the line on this because I mean, if you're not gonna, they should have done this. They kicked the can down the road on this for fucking years now, and they should have they should not have done that. And now they're having to deal with it. But it's just like, it's crazy, bro.
And I will say this. I think this is important for that too. It's like, if there wasn't part of the reason that this government shutdown is even happening is because when we talked about this with Mark Allanderi on
1330 about for my curse.
Yeah, for all those persons. I know, I got it.
All right.
But like when we talk about with Mark Allanderi about like all of the cuts that are going to be coming to Medicaid and the ACA and this, $800 something billion coming out of our healthcare system, and we're about to have essentially a 10x multiplier on private insurance, and Medicaid is going to disappear, and the idea that like and like that's the reason that the Democrats are like purported to be doing this, but that Chuck Schumer doesn't care about that, or Hakeem Jeffries doesn't care about that. The only reason that they're even like have a gun to their back, essentially, politically speaking, not literally, obviously, but the only reason they have any kind of pressure on them is because, and again, there are people like AOC and Bernie Sanders that are at least like threatening them and coming at them next and making them look bad politically. And they're essentially fighting for their political careers.
Yeah.
And so like, make no mistake, they're gonna crumble because they gave away all their leverage when they let that bill or whatever pass all the way back in like March or April or whatever it was. There's no win here for the Democrats. The whole reason that this is happening is because Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and the leadership of the Democrats feel like they're like, if they don't do something, they're gonna like get rolled over sooner rather than later. And so like this is like venal, like terrible politicians just like trying to protect their own ass rather than trying to actually fight for people. So much so, by the way, like it's so obvious that this is the case that like when you see, you know, people calling out Jeffries, like right wingers essentially calling out Jeffries for like trying to set his show, or when Trump does this like video, this goofy video of them like wearing sombreros or whatever and with Mexican music playing behind them, because what the Republicans are saying is, oh yeah, we just want to make sure that immigrants, God forbid they ever have health care. And the Democrats are saying, we don't want to give immigrants health care, which is like hilarious. But like instead of like saying, hey, we're fighting for health care for the American people, these people are like, hey, say that to my face, tough guy, and trying to make it about themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And that answers some of my question of why the Democratic Party has all of a sudden found a spine.
Yeah, because the leaders are fighting for their lives. You know, listen to WHIVLP New Orleans 102.3. They're fighting for their political lives, and that's it. Like that's just it. Like they're not going to win anything. They're going to eventually crumble. But the only reason that Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries have decided that this is their like last stand at Waterloo is because they have the proverbial gun to their back. That's what it is.
And that gun's coming from the left? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like AOC and Bernie are actually showing some levels of leadership, despite the fact that we have criticisms of them, obviously. Right. They are providing leadership. They are saying that essentially like laying out the agenda for what's going to happen here. And it's going to be a failed agenda, but that failure is not going to fall at their feet. It's going to fall at the feet of these losers.
The only thing I will disagree with you on, I'll push back and I'll say, I don't think it's AOC and Bernie or anybody from.
They're part of it. They're the whole thing.
I think it's Zoran Mondani because I know he's just, when he wins, he's just going to be the mayor of New York City, which is a huge deal. I'm not just saying just the mayor, but it's not a federally appointed office. I think but the reason why it is Zoran Mondani, because like Trump, Zoran Mondani, and you got to follow me here, he is the Trump of the Democratic Party. And what I mean by that is Trump threw away the entire rule book of what it means to be a Republican and just said, you know, I'm doing this thing the way I want, and because I know which way the people move, and I will become undeniable in the Republican Party. Zoran is doing the same thing. Every taboo, everything that should have been a roadblock to him is a boon. That he's not a white guy. That he's not from the United States. Even his Canva Plus graphic design, like the way like big block yellow letters to where it looks like he's a Bollywood movie star, right? Like it could be on a poster, and I know the man's not Indian, but it could be on a poster in India, right? Zoran coming soon. Like
he's got Indian.
Okay, so he is Indian. Cool. I don't want to be racist and be like, oh, he's a Bollywood guy. But I'm like, he could be a Bollywood movie star and be like Zoran playing at this theater, coming soon, and that they didn't run away from his ethnicity. And then he didn't run away from being a socialist. He didn't run away from socialist policies. And then most importantly, he didn't run away from being an anti-Zionist. He's taken everything that it means to be a Democrat in this garbage two-party system and just thrown it in the Hudson River and said, no, none of that. We're not doing any of that. And I'm going to be mayor of New York City. Bada boom, bada bing. So I think that's what's got the Democratic Party shook more than anything. Because even when AOC won and she won re-election, even, Nancy Pelosi, who was speaker at the time, was quick to put her, to have the party put its arms around AOC. Because
it wasn't immediate. It wasn't immediate.
But it's a lot quicker than Zoran. It wasn't the folded arms that Zoran got. Because at the end of the day, AOC, I mean, God bless her. I'm not trying to be like bash AOC, but she's not an actual threat the way that Zoran Mondami and the kind of audience that he commands, the voters that he commands, the way that he's ahead of the curve is an actual threat. And it's all these little like it's all these little death by 1,000 cuts that the Democratic Party has been up against, and a lot of it is their Zionism, and now that's been turned as a weapon against them. And now Chuck Schumer has to act. He can't be not a Zionist,
right?
I mean,
his entire mission was to make the left or the Democrats pro-Israel, to keep them pro-Israel. That has miserably failed.
I mean, AIPAC still has to be, satiated.
Right.
Chuck Schumer still got to check in with the Baileys, but so now he has to actually attack Trump and actually do something. And by this doing something just means not signing off on a dirty CR, which thank God. I mean, I'll take a win. I'll take a win any way we can get it. But yeah, like
I would say this, just to push back a little bit. Like, I don't think it's this or that. I mean, like Bernie and AFC have both stepped up in this moment, and Zoran is like just sort of like lighting up everything right now, not because of his slick social media or whatever, like the Democrats are trying to say, which, I mean, respect to the comms team or whatever, but like, it's not that's not what makes him popular. It's because he stands in the face of the opposition that they're using to essentially attempt to discredit him, and he's basically like he's pushing back. And I think that there's a certain confluence of those two things that are happening right now. That is, I mean, again, if we ever get out of this this messed up situation, and actually, you know what? I think that for people like who have this sort of like broader left perspective to even take power, and I'm not saying that it's good that we're in this moment, but it was inevitable that liberalism would fail us in this way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, like, in order for a better round or a better wave or a better generation or whatever of leadership to step up, like, this was going to happen inevitably, because the Schumer, the neoliberalism and the Schumers and the Jeffries of the world would not go away willingly. They needed to essentially dig their own grave, and then we just move on from there. And it sucks that's got to be how it is, but that's how it is. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I mean, I completely agree with you. It's almost like an evolutionary ladder to where, like, I'm not Zoran, but Bernie and AFC have pushed the ball as far as they can possibly go for Zoran to like pick it up and run into the end zone with it. Yeah. But what you're saying, the only thing that's surprising me right now is that I've always said that I'm actually feeling a lot of revolutionary optimism, like a lot. Like, this comes from somebody who's like actively planning, been working for the last couple of years to get, to find a way out of this hellhole of a country. But I'm still doing that. I have escape hatches. I have multiple ones that, plans that are ready to go at any time. But I'm willing to stick here and fight it out.
Glass to break in case of emergency.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm absolutely willing to like fight it out here. Whatever, that means. Wink, wink over the radio. Because look, I'm really shocked and really been pleasantly surprised of how the libs, like, I gotta chill out with liberals, like how they've responded to this moment. There's a lot of libs that are just like, hey, us like singing Kumbaya is not gonna cut it. Like, we have to be out there literally pushing these guys off our streets. And I'm like, all right, let's go.
You know what about that is actually optimistic, like gives me optimism, is that after and like, these are the people that I was screaming at in like 2016 when it was Bernie. They're the people that called me a Bernie bro and all this other stuff and all whatever. They have finally come around, many of them, to the fact that, oh wow, like the people that look like Jennifer Wealth from the I've Had It podcast have decided that the leaders in the like established political, like the liberal establishment, have failed them. And the only way to fight back, because I don't think that she's necessarily like a leftist or whatever the hell, but she has decided that like, hey, we got two choices here. It is essentially socialism or barbarism, and people like that are choosing socialism. That is optimism to me. That is like so very positive to me. It's very cool that we can have the wine, like at least a piece of the wine mom contingent, breaking the right way. Now, will they be with us like all the way when it comes to the point of like displacing like capital and removing it from the hands of the capitalist class? No, maybe not. But in this moment, they're with us, and we need to have a coalition, at least in the short term, to get through the dark times, so then we can fight it out later.
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
And not let them. And then the thing is to not let them co-opt us. Obviously,
of course. And by the way, I'm not scared of Jen from the I've Had It podcast.
Well, okay, so if I had to kind of motion to where like I could either get on that podcast. Let's say I was.
Zoran's been on that podcast. Hassan has been on that podcast. Like,
if I could get on that podcast,
Emma Vigland has had her on the Majority Report. Right. Like, there's a lot of a coalition of that being built now. Obviously, there are people on the left that'll just say that like all those people are already cucked and they've already sold out, like or whatever. And it's just like, okay, well, whatever. I don't care.
Well, what I would tell her if I had 5 minutes with her for an interview, and I'd be like, I would tell her. First of all, good job. Keep up the good work. I'm glad you're reaching people that I could never reach.
Yes.
But I need you to understand this. And I'm not saying you should change anything. I'm not saying you should feel bad about it. I'm saying I need you to understand this. So when the time comes, you'd be like, oh, this is what he was talking about. Mm-hmm. You are a attractive middle-aged white woman in Oklahoma City. The reason why you can have a podcast called I've Had It and be widely successful and now rich and famous from this thing and talk as greasy as you do when, again, the Trump administration, as if I was to talk to her right now, right this day, the Trump administration is talking about, we found the girlfriend's sister's uncle of the CEO, captain of Antifa commander. Oh, we're going after Mahmoud Khalil. Again, we're still trying to get him deported. Oh, we're just rounding up black and brown people. We're fast roping through apartment buildings in Chicago and picking up anybody whose skin color is darker than a paper bag.
Yeah.
The reason why you can talk as greasy as you do, which I want you to keep doing, you need to realize it's because you're an attractive middle-aged white woman from Oklahoma.
I think she gets that.
Keep that in your mind and just use that as a prism lens to direct all your thoughts and decision making through. Mm-hmm. Don't get it twisted. You're not a revolutionary. You are safe behind the veil of your identity. It's the reason why Kristi Noem is not in a White House press briefing, because kid in the street dressed as an inflatable frog costume is not dangerous to American imperialism.
No.
Now, I Had It podcast it's a reason why they haven't designated you as a terrorist yet.
A foreign terrorist organization.
That's why. Understand.
I've Had It podcast, a foreign terrorist organization,
and it never will be. Now, if they were like, hey, Robert Johnson, we're giving you the keys to the I Had It podcast. We've gone as far as we can go. It's now your podcast. Here's our audience. And it was to me, I'd be in Guantanamo Bay tomorrow. Understand that. That's how it goes. I'm not saying it's bad. All I'm saying is recognize that and guide your decisions through that lens.
Yeah. Did you see, you listen to the HIVLP New Orleans 102.3, this is Good Morning Comrade. Did you see, speaking of the sort of like criminalization of basically all dissent at this point, Donald Trump had a meeting with a bunch of like quote unquote journalists the other day, talking like all right wing goons and clowns and all these losers or whatever.
To be honest,
like,
yeah, go ahead. No, I
Like,
was gonna say, to be honest, Jeff,
Mhm.
I want to hear about this. I'm not cutting you off, but
Yeah.
I have reached the hyper normalization USSR stage to
Sure.
where it's like I see this, and I'm not saying I'm a better person. I really do want you to tell me about this, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying that when I see Donald Trump on TV, it's not even a thing of like, oh, funny orange man. Oh, I'm gonna watch him. I don't even. We're past. I'm even like hate watching this anymore.
Mhm.
It's
Well,
literal white noise. I can't interface with it. I don't
mhm.
want to hear about it.
Well, okay.
It's all
Well,
bullshit.
regardless of like actually
Oh,
having seen it,
yeah. But I want to
um,
hear about it.
regardless of actually having seen it, like the whole point of it was he came away, and all these, D riders are like literally the press pool is just like a bunch of people who just like, Mr. President, you're so great, you're so awesome, we love you. Have you considered, you said that the governor and the mayor of, Illinois and Chicago respectively are acting outside of the law. Have you actually talked with the Department of Justice on how to prosecute them? Or have you considered making the Democratic Socialists of America
I
into a
saw that.
terrorist organization?
I saw
Or,
that.
you say you wanted to declare Antifa, the organization that exists, that is real, that is called Antifa, making them a foreign terrorist organization. And it's just like this never ending, like, it's almost like watching improv.
Yes.
Like you watch, like the bit of improv is always sort of like take an idea that somebody gives you and escalate it.
Yes,
right?
and
Take it to the next. Yeah, yes, and everything. And Trump is just constantly doing yes and yes and yes and going like, yeah, we'll just like criminalize the DSA or whatever. Like,
but he's always been
really
like
is
that.
this sort of like obviously the not wanting to hate watch it or whatever is that's fine. But seeing what's coming from it and the rhetoric that is like coming out of it, it is genuinely alarming in light of like we just talked about some of the optimistic parts. Like these contradictions are coming into our face within the next 3 years.
No, for sure. And it's not, and I just want to restate, it's not like, oh, I'm a better person because I'm not taking it in.
No,
it's like I am
a TV
bored.
show.
I'm bored.
Show. You don't like the TV show.
I'm bored. I'm bored with it. I depend on you.
This season of America is lame and it sucks. They've gone too far.
Yeah. I depend on you to be the sin eater and like take all of it in and dissect it for me. But like I'm literally bored. Like I like this guy. He's so far into Joe Biden zone to where it's like, okay, if he's gonna talk in front of a microphone, there's going to be 40 minutes of him just rambling before he gets to anything that can even be conceived of as a point. I'm like, I just don't, bro. Hades 2 came out, great game.
Yeah,
rather be playing that. Like I'm not
to that point too. Somebody asked him a question about like essentially suspending habeas corpus, aka like due process.
Show me,
and it was like, oh, I don't know anything about it. He like literally doesn't know what fucking due process is. It's crazy. Like he is Brandonized completely.
No, absolutely, he is. And this isn't like a hopium, lib like, oh, he's gonna have a stroke. Like, no, literally, like try to.
That's bad, actually. If he the best case scenario is him just like riding it out because JD Vance is like sitting behind the next one.
Sure. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, exactly. No, I've said that point exactly. Yeah, I don't give that kind of liberal, West Wing, Wizard of Oz, gobbledygook, any kind of. It's like it doesn't matter. It's just new boss, same as the old boss. I don't care if a Democrat wins with the crop of Democrats we have now. I don't care if a Democrat wins the next federal election for president. I don't care. Like it's just it'll just be the new. In a lot of ways, it'll be worse, but it'll be just a new face on this. And I'm again this
stick on a pig.
America needs to fall apart. That's what needs to be clipped here out of anything. Before we're gonna get any hope of class consciousness, class solidarity, it needs to completely fall apart. But I'm surprised that we haven't completely fall apart in the way that like people have unified together to literally throw fascists off the street. And I'm super excited about that. It's given me a lot of optimism. I'm all about a fight, but I only want to fight if I'm not out there by myself. And I can see right now that's not what's happening. And it's great, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Usually I'm such a downer, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling libbed up, feeling lib pilled.
There we go. Hopium. The hopium's flowing.
Opium up.
Did you get a chance to take a look at that quote unquote like peace agreement that has been going on with Gaza and Palestine and Israel? You want to talk about that?
I mean, we can get into that. I've got the Breaking Points video that they put up today. I thought was real good. And then
we can put that on and react to it. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that. And then hold on, I'm finding a good spot to do it right now.
And yeah, just to kind of get the whole thing laid out and explain the situation, because it is something that, like, when we talk about it without like a little bit of guidance, I don't want to mess it up. You know what I mean?
Sure thing.
There's a lot of facts, there's a lot of stuff flying around. I do have some thoughts on it.
We're ready to go here. I'm gonna share screen.
All right. And he disappeared. We lost Robert. Love when that happens.
It has been Brother, StreamYard has been crashing a lot for me lately, but I think it's my computer.
The computer
might be going on. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just moved on to Linux.
No, I'm not doing that. All right, here we go.
Scroll up all the way up.
Yesterday, President Trump received a note during this Antifa roundtable situation. We'll talk about that more later in the show, indicating that such a deal was on the verge of being consummated. Let's go ahead and take a look at that moment.
Consummated.
Okay. I'm just giving.
Speaking of, I don't care. I don't care about this.
Need me quickly. I believe, Sagar, that photographers were able to zoom in on that, and it said basically we need you to approve a Truth Social post, so that you can be the first to announce it. We'll let Jeremy lay out all of the details here, but there are some similarities between the ceasefire deal that Trump was able to strike at the beginning of his term in office, in that you'll remember that he presented this as a sort of comprehensive peace deal that would lead to some lasting settlement involving him and Tony Blair running the Gaza Strip, etc. From what we can tell, it appears those pieces have been pushed off, including the incredibly tricky and controversial piece of Hamas completely disarming and laying down their weapons along with other Palestinian resistance factions. It looks like predominantly what they have come to a deal on, and again, this hasn't been officially announced, so we don't have all of the details yet, but is on the hostage exchange and the lines that Israel would withdraw to. Now, the initial phase of this deal does not require Israel to withdraw from the Gaza Strip entirely. In fact, the entire quote-unquote peace deal, as envisioned, as presented to the American public, does not require Israel to completely withdraw from the Gaza Strip at any point. So that is an...
Yes,
so okay, just getting some of the facts straight. So I did remember, and I did see that there was the piece about Tony Blair, noted war criminal Tony Blair, being a part of this sort of like caretaker government, or like the modern version of, I guess, what the United States did in Afghanistan, in Iraq and Afghanistan, to sort of like hold on to make sure things like move forward. They took him out, so Tony Blair's out. And then now also there is no, at any point, mandate in this law or in this agreement for Israel to pull out of Gaza. What is the win here?
Well, so what I read and understand is that there is a full, they're eventually going to have to pull out of Gaza, but there's no timeline. Which I have so many thoughts.
Sure.
I guess I actually made a comment on this, and we can look at it now. I'm bringing it up so you can see it.
Yeah.
Here. 100% Hamas PFLP PIJ victory. For those of you who don't know, PFLP, that's our team. Marxist Leninists, Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, and PIJ, Palestinian Islamic Jihad. 100% Hamas, PFLP, PIJ victory. Israel was losing on the ground. If they complete this genocide, they lose. If they violate the deal, they lose. when they let aid organizations and journalists in, they lose. Israeli society is crumbling. This is close to a total victory that Palestine could have hoped for right now. It's a real Tet offensive moment. It's up to the world to keep pressure on them so they can't go back to their old ways. And what I mean by like it's a real Tet offensive moment, the Tet offensive was it's considered a military failure, but it was the breaking point of the war to where Walter Cronkite got on TV and said the Vietnam War is unwinnable. Like, yeah, we fought to a stalemate. We cannot defeat indigenous people on their own grounds. And so what I really believe that Hamas has put, and the rest of the resistance has put the Israeli government into a trick bag by they're taking advantage of Trump's narcissism and by saying that, you know, he wants to get the Nobel Peace Prize. And so they're going to let him do this. And the main things of we're not going to disarm. That'll never happen. We're getting our hostages back. I'm talking about the Palestinian hostages, the women and children that they have.
The hundreds and thousands.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of people they have in Israeli dungeons.
As opposed to the dozens of Israeli hostages, which neither side should have hostages. Let them all free, obviously.
But do you understand what I mean by that? It's like
I do. My question is like on the piece of like, what if Israel does the same thing as they did last time and just violates the deal again? You said that was not going to be an issue in the same way as it was.
No, you misunderstood. So, okay, let's say Israel violates the deal and starts bombing again. Okay, fine. And I don't mean to sound flippant, but like we have to look at it as a game board, as a chessboard. These are people's lives we're talking about. These are men, women, and children whose lives have been taken from them. They're being genocided. We don't have to really say anything other than that. But when we zoom out and we look at it for, you know, as a chessboard, okay, Israel resumes the bombing. Okay, how is that different from yesterday? You're still in the same Kit Kat, and now it looks even worse because now they'll be like, okay, the United States brokered a deal, Hamas was on board, and you guys broke it again. The main reason that Israel is doing this, they can absorb military losses, right?
Which they have been doing.
They can absorb these losses. It's not like they're going to quote unquote surrender and just be like, well, I guess you're going to get a free Palestinian state. What they cannot absorb is pressure from people in the street, pressure from other countries, being a pariah state, turning into South Africa, which it's too late. It's too late. They already are. That ship has sailed. And then if that happens, or when that's already happened, I should say, Donald Trump has an ego. He really doesn't. He's not like Joe Biden, to where Joe Biden was a Zionist for the love of the game. Yeah, Joe Biden was a Zionist for the love of the game. Donald Trump has no love for anybody except Donald Trump. And if you make Donald Trump look foolish, he will respond to that. And like I've said since the beginning of this, the Israel will fall no matter what. It's just how many people are they going to take with them? Because like every American colony, and that's what Israel is, they don't run anything. They're not magical mind control people. None of this anti-Semitic garbage. They're a colony that we allow to do whatever they want to do. And when the boss call gets made, just like Trump made the boss call, they had to shut it down. Now, if they crank that back up again, it makes Trump look stupid. It makes his base look stupid. And that's the thing that actually Trump cares about. And all these people, even Charlie Kirk, which we don't have to hand it to Charlie Kirk. We don't have to hand it to Candace Owens. We don't have to hand it to Tucker Carlson. But these are opportunists who know which way the wind is shifting. And not even shifting, the way the wind has already shifted, it is now completely blowing the opposite direction of people in the United States are done with Israel. So like every colony that we've ever had, we eventually get tired of them and we say, we don't want to play no more, and we drop them. That's what Israel is afraid of. Israel is more afraid of getting kicked out of FIFA and kicked out of Eurovision than they are of Hamas. Straight up. And I'm not talking about the guys in the field. I mean, I'm talking about, the guys in the Knesset.
You're talking about Netanyahu
and Ben Gvir. They're more afraid of that than they are of Hamas. And that's where we're at right now. Israel is now where South Africa was, where nobody wants to deal with them materially or culturally. They are going to be a failed state. It's just when it's going to happen. And so any move they make, what I think they're really trying to do is they're gonna try to flip the script and be like, oh, look how magnanimous we are. Let us help with the aid. We're going to help with the aid. We're going to help rebuild Gaza. These are our neighbors. We want peace. Well,
sounds like the United States with Afghanistan.
Exactly. It's too late for all that. The kids are not. What did Will Miniker say on Twitter? He said anybody under the age of 50 is no longer going to have a positive view of Israel. It's over. It's done. All American politics will be through the lens of Israel for the next 30 years. That's just where we're at. And so any move they make, they can start the war back up. They look bad. They can uphold the ceasefire. Well, guess what? Their population, 80% of the Israeli population wants the genocide. So now you're going to have all these IDF soldiers. I don't know if you saw the video of them at the Knesset going, y'all are talking about surrendering. Y'all are talking about pulling out of Gaza. Look at all these PTSD meds I have to take. And they're literally opening up sacks of meds. They're like, my sacrifice, my friend's sacrifice are now in vain if we don't finish this genocide. So their society falls apart that way. Any way you look at it, they're done. They're done. There's no way out for them. And I sincerely believe that. And that's why I think this ceasefire is great. It's not great in the short term.
Of course not.
But in the long term, it is not even the beginning of the end of Israel. We're in the middle of the end of Israel.
So just to game it out a little bit more, and I'm not disagreeing with a lot of the things you're saying. I just want to sort of like hear your thoughts on it. What happens if, and I see this as a plausible situation. You mentioned that like Donald Trump is not a doormat for Israel, but he's found ways to kind of go along with a lot of the crazier things that they've decided to do. Including just like roping them into bombing parts of Iran.
Yep.
What is to say? What is there to, if Israel does break the ceasefire? What is to stop essentially the Trump administration from just like finding a way to be like, actually, it was Hamas that started all this again?
His own base. His own base. You've got the MAGA base thinking that Mossad put a hit on Charlie Kirk.
Yeah,
you've got the MAGA base because I mean I hate to toot my own horn, but people like myself and people smarter and with more reach than me saying that, hey, isn't it crazy? You know, you got I had a podcast, but right wing people are saying, you got Tucker Carlson saying, hey, isn't it crazy? You're in medical debt. Yeah, you're in medical debt, but Israeli people have Medicare for all. And it's from your tax dollars. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that you have to go into...
He's not making a case for medical care for all, but
no, not at all. Not at all. But we don't need him to do that. Again, this is the thing. I've called it the white dog turd. We don't need to touch it. Just let it go. Let him fight. Let him fight. Let him tear their own house down. You know, Candace Owens being like, hey, isn't it crazy that you owe tens of thousands of dollars to the Department of Education, but people in Israel have subsidized higher education?
Yeah,
that's weird, right? And they do it with your tax dollars. I said this on my own stream the other night. I go, we sent $17 billion to Israel last year. $17 billion. While our streets here collapse, our bridges crumble, you're having to put together 2-3 jobs, and we're saying, hey, guy with the Punisher skull sticker on the back of his Ford F-350, guy with his thin blue line American flag grunt style shirt on, working 70, 80 hours a week, doing roofing, plumbing, hard labor. You're an electrician, you know, you're a patriotic American, and Israel depends on your sweat equity so the IRS can suck that up and send that to them every year. That's the America you want to live in. You want to live on your knees. And you're hearing right-wing voices say this. And now what we have to, that's another thing for another day, is we have to worry about anti-Semitism, because that's what they're getting at. They're getting at anti-Semitism, but they're dancing around it because they have no love for Jewish people or anybody who isn't quote unquote white. But
right.
As for right now, let them cook. Let them cook, baby, because it's got people stirred up. Again, the dumbest guy you know at your job, and I'm talking to myself, has stopped talking about Donald Trump. Because they're seeing it's a little bit of class consciousness is starting to break through. And that's what will stop Donald Trump. That if Donald Trump drops dead right now, hope that never happens, Secret Service, CIA. I hope he lives for another 1,000 years.
FCC.
Right. Donald Trump and JD Vance, Mascara Man, becomes the president. That base is still there. That Republican Party base is still there. And now they see what it is. They've got, people, they've got their own talking heads on Rumble, on not Fox, wherever they find these people now, because Fox is completely Israel cucked. But wherever they're getting this stuff now, wherever they're tuning in to Tucker and Candace, telling them that
YouTube.
Yeah, bro.
YouTube.
Yeah,
that's
YouTube.
Where Candace's YouTube.
Yeah, did you enjoy your hard day's labor today and all that money that you got exploited for by your boss, and he gives you that little bit of check, and now a good portion of that check's going to go to Israel while your kids suffer, while your kids do without? Is that America first? That's why. That it's a combination of all these things. That's why
another huge piece of this too is kind of amazing. Is like, who even is Ben Shapiro anymore? He is gonzo. He is
gone.
No, he's so
Nobody's
finished.
watching that. Nobody's watching that. Nobody's watching that. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody. He's softer than cotton. The time, even it was coming. It was coming for Charlie Kirk too. Even if Charlie Kirk wouldn't have got killed, that kind of smarmy like fascism, it's not what's in vogue. They want the straight dope. They want the straight in the veins. They want a Steve Bannon type fascist who's going to be like, isn't it, if these guys existed in
they're not going to beat around the bush. They want Nick Fuentes or whatever.
Nick Fuentes. I was on Red Note today. Red Note. You know who's on Red Note? Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes is on Red Note, y'all. You got Nick Fuentes, Mr. America First, posting on an official channel on the CCP communist TikTok app.
Yeah.
Yo, times they are changing, my friend. 100%. So you just can't. The smarmy, well, actually is dead. And it's the same on the left too. Liberalism, and we've always talked about this, the center cannot hold. These two ideologies will clash. And Bernie, going back to Bernie, he did lay down, he brings the same arguments. And I'm not saying I'm going to convince these people to read a little red book or anything like that, or read a page out of Capital. But my thing now, even on YouTube itself, is I say, I'm a vet. I'm a Marine Corps vet. Here's all the ways that the military is socialist. Here's all the programs they provide, and the U.S. government know they work. Exactly. No, let's talk about commissaries. All the people laughing and joking and thinking like, oh, Zoran Mondami can't do city-run grocery stores. We do federally run grocery stores in this country and in other countries that we colonize, and they're called commissaries. What are you talking about? That's communism. That's socialism. What are you talking about? And if anybody tells you, well, that's not socialism, we'll say, great. Well, let's do that then. Don't you think that we should expand this not socialism to the rest of the United States? Since you've already told me it's not socialism, you shouldn't have a problem with that. And they just look at you like they're stupid, because they are stupid. There's no way around this. People are starting, and I'm not saying that right wingers are going to ally with us. I'm not saying that in the slightest. All I'm saying is, if we can get them to fight themselves, I want that. That's a win. Yeah, that is a win for me. And if I can get a guy to understand that we give his children's birthright away to a colony that hates us, just start with Israel. You don't even have to talk about global United States hegemony yet. Just start with Israel. This country hates you, hates everything about you. They think you're stupid, and they come to you and they rob you every tax season. They rob you while you ain't got nothing.
And again,
that's what you want to support.
Like, and you know, it's wild. And again, it's not that wild, but like, it's just like the political right and a lot of these like freakazoids, because of their anti-Semitism or whatever, are able to like make that reading immediately. But you need to drag the liberals, not all of them, obviously, but the liberal establishment kicking and screaming to make this happen. That is, and so much so to the point that, like, at the other side of this, when you finally roll back the apartheid state, like, there's a certain amount of, and this kind of scares me a little bit. There's the political right is going to be able to, at least to some extent, take credit for doing it. Mm-hmm. And like, that will be the ultimate failure of liberalism, because and I don't know, man, like, getting away from that stink, cutting that stink off is like important for a viable political left future.
Right. And with the couple minutes we have left, I've got a tweak on that, and I'll be quick. So I want to hear your response to it. I don't necessarily worried about, I don't care who takes credit. I don't care about any of that.
It matters because of like who's relevant after.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's what. True. You're right. But I think what's more pressing is we have to worry about, and I think the liberals, and I'm talking about the Chuck Schumer liberals, I'm talking about the Hakeem Jeffries, those type of liberals.
Not people that are just like not Israel, just like all up in that.
Yeah, not liberal voters. But I mean,
no, that's not what I mean.
No, I'm saying, I just want to be clear about what I'm saying. The liberal voters and the
liberal establishment leaders.
Yeah, and the right-wing establishment, what the play that they're going to run is, oh my God, we just found out yesterday, 20 minutes ago even, that Israel, Mossad is so entrenched in our intelligence agencies. Oh my God, do you know how much money that Israel has been throwing around Washington to what's the word?
I had no idea what AIPAC was, and
I had no idea what AIPAC was, so they can influence our politician. Oh my God, we've been infiltrated by the hashtag Jews. And then what's that going to do?
Super anti-Semitic, yeah.
That's going to give their base the permission to try a night of long knives. I'm telling you, it's going to get real weird in this country, where it's not even that weird. It's really not even that weird, but I can already see it coming. Like, I am the dude, like I am Paul Atreides off of Dune, and I just slept on it, but I can see it coming. There's going to be a day, and it's coming. Could be 6 months from now, could be a year, could be 2 years from now, that brown people and kefias are going to be surrounding synagogues, fighting Nazis, to keep them out as a physical barrier out of synagogues. I'm telling you. So that's why you need to check in on even on your Zionist Jewish friends and family right now. Make sure, see how they're doing, make sure they're safe. You need to check in with even your centrist or right-wing friends. So when we brought up all these contradictions about Israel.
10 seconds.
We need to make sure they don't turn anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Check out Lumencast, goodmorningcomrade.com. Follow me on Twitter at eminentprof. Thank you. You are listening to WHIV LP New Orleans. We love you. Bye-bye.
Extraordinary concession on the part of the Palestinians.
All right, my bad. we had to get out of there.
Oh, you fine?
I stopped. You're right though. There is gonna be it is gonna get like you think it's weird now. It's gonna get fucking weirder.
Yeah, well, that's what it's gonna be. But just I'll give you some, and I know you're super busy, so you're not. But I'll give you right
now.
And I don't know. I mean, in general,
I'm in my half my life is in my car driving, so I got time to listen to shit.
What's been working for me, and I don't want to share this with the rest of the class, because in case I'm getting out over my skis, but I really don't feel that I am, is use Twitch as a a free Streamlabs, right?
Mhm.
So you're making content on Twitch, right? And you don't care who sees it at all. Then you're taking
nobody.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about that. You're making the content on Twitch. You're doing your show, and don't stop doing these. That's crazy.
My bad.